Hi, Aletha here with Create Your Future, and thank you for checking out my video. And if it resonates with you, please like, share, and if you haven't already subscribed, do that. And stay tuned because we have some really important things to talk about today that are going to help you along your journey of manifesting whatever it is your heart desires into your reality easily, effortlessly. And we're going to also talk about why things may or may not be manifesting as you would like them to. So before we get into all that, I just want to remind you that Create Your Future is still giving away a free course, How to Find Your Blocks to Manifest Anything Fast, and to also let you know that I do have courses available, 13 to be as a matter of fact, and 3 of which are brand new over the past month. So you can check all that out. The link is in the description box below. And then to just let you know that this video posted, if you don't know already, the 19th of July on a Saturday, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, so now let's just get into the video. I have a question for you. Have you fully stepped into the embodiment of your desire fulfilled, assuming it's already yours, that you have it now, not down the road, that it's coming, that you're working on it, but that you are that person now, even though there is no evidence in your 3D. It's very important that you get that point, that you assume that you have your desire fulfilled right now, not that you are working towards getting it and that it will show up someday, but that it's yours right now. So you're assuming that it's yours right now, and our thoughts create emotions, right? And so you should feel then the emotion of having it. What would that be like? How would that feel? Well, assume this is mine. Really put it into practice right this moment. Assume that whatever it is your heart's desiring in your mind, use your imagination, that it's yours. Play that over a couple of times, seeing yourself being that person. What are the feelings that automatically show up? And discard any of those little voices that come to us as nasty little things that say, well, this is only pretend, this is not real, you're being delusional, you know that the 3D isn't showing this at all. So dismiss those and stay in that little imaginal place where you are really embodying the wish fulfilled fully and completely, that you're assuming it is yours now and you're feeling the feelings of that. So if you need to, pause the video and do that for a few seconds and then check, what are the emotions that come to me? It should be joy, relief, right? Safety. It can be anything. It doesn't have to be those, but you should feel a positive emotion, right? So if you were wanting to manifest a specific person into your life, I would feel loved, valued, chosen, happy, and I would see my assumption being what I want it to be, which is I'm with this loving, beautiful, incredible person who loves me, adores me, who is open and honest and transparent with me, and that we have that back and forth relationship with one another. I'm those things to that person. But again, remember, everything is you pushed out, and everyone conforms to your thoughts. So whatever you are thinking and believing yourself to be and your specific person to be, those are the things that reflect back to you. And so I had this thought earlier this morning. Well, my SP is about as good as I make him with my thoughts and my emotions, because your thought produces an emotion. So if I get the thought that I'm being an ornery little boy and doing things that are not so nice, like maybe if I get a thought that they might be cheating on me, or they might be distancing themselves from me for some reason, or that other things are more important to them than to me, than I am, well, I'm going to feel negative feelings, right? That because automatically those thoughts, they're negative, they're fearful. I'm going to feel those feelings. So now what happens with the way the universe works? Well, that's going to be reflected back to me. So if I put my energy, I might have a fleeting thought that I say, no, that's not who I am. That's not who that person is. We are together, they love me and they value me. So that will manifest. When you have a fleeting thought and you immediately flip it to the positive, you're okay. But it's when you attach yourself to those silly negative thoughts that come to us. Okay, so if you have an image or a mindset of your person not wanting you, needing space, needing time, been in other relationships, not wanting to commit again, if you have those thoughts, or that they're possibly cheating, or they have friends that you're not so sure if they're really platonic or not, with the opposite sex, or even the same sex, depending on what your preferences are. So the thing is, they're going to respond to your thoughts. Your concept of them is going to be reflected back to you. So why not do what Neville says? Dream the best. Assume the best. So the moment you get those negative, fearful thoughts, stop and change it to, they're always faithful and loving and supportive and, open and honest and whatever it is you want in a relationship. Think those thoughts, and you will automatically feel the joyful, happy, uplifted, highly energetic thoughts and frequencies. Because whatever your words are not heard by the universe. The universe reacts to our frequency. So when you say your affirmations, you feel a certain feeling if you're paying attention and not doing it rudely. And that feeling is then the frequency that gets pushed out into the universe and then is mirrored back. So when you are having those random thoughts that are negative, you're producing an emotion, which is fear, anxiety, stress of some kind, and resentment, whatever it might be, jealousy. Those are frequencies that are going to be pushed out, and the universe has to reflect more of that back to you. So situations will show up in your reality to validate those frequencies that you sent out of fear, anxiety, jealousy, whatever. So you're going to get more of what you don't want. And the reason I know this is because I've done it. Not recently, because I've learned a whole lot over the years, but at one point in my life, I tended to think the worst, and guess what kept happening? The worst. And then when I learned about Neville Goddard and all the things that he teaches, and then listened to how quantum physics works and the way the universe works, and other teachers in the scientific world, I discovered, that I needed to change my story so that my frequency was what I wanted to experience. Changing my story means changing my thoughts. So are you embodying the best of your situation? That is, you are with your specific person and you guys are happy and blissful in the way that you want it to be. And then you're going to feel those joyful feelings of happiness and bliss, which is then pushed out of you as a frequency. And then you get more situations that will create that happy and bliss situation in your 3D reality, because everything is a reflection of your thoughts, right? So change your thoughts from negative and embodying the old story to embodying the new story and feeling those wonderful good feelings, and then allow that frequency to push out, and then it must be mirrored back to you, because the 3D is only a reflection of our past thoughts. So if your past thoughts are good and positive and full of love, then that's what you're going to experience in your next 3D reality. So that's how it works, and it's really cool, and you can change anything at any moment. So you've had negative thoughts and you thought about them more than you should, change them. I've done that, and I have seen overnight, sometimes within the same day, hour. One time it was in a half hour. Instantly it changes, because you change your concept of a situation or a person, and then they have to be reflected back that way. And so have you fully stepped into the embodiment of your desire already fulfilled, assuming it's yours now and feeling the feelings that are associated with that? And if you have, then it will manifest. It has to. That's the way it works out. Now, here's the other thing. Are you still half identifying with the old version of you, the old story? Are you sometimes thinking, well, maybe they're cheating on me, or maybe there's a third party. I don't know for sure. Well, yes, you do, because you're the one planning it. So they're here, they're there, they're doing this or that. Are they with someone else? Well, you get to decide that. I did this once, and I regretted it, and I won't do it again. And I decided that I was going to find out if this person was doing what I suspected. And so I found out, because what I expected or what I was suspecting was where I was focusing my energies. And sure enough, they showed up doing what I had been fearful of. But they wouldn't have, and I learned this through other experiences. If I had, when I got that nasty thought, like, oh, I'm gonna find out, I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna wait and see if they show up. And guess what they did? Why? Because I was sitting there worrying about it. I was sitting there having the negative thoughts and feelings, waiting, and sure enough, there they are. Why? Because I was pushing that energy out into the universe. I set the storyline and it had to manifest. So when you do the opposite of that, the good stuff, it has to manifest too. So had I changed my thoughts from, that's a foolish thought, I'm not going there, you know, this, all the positive stuff, felt the emotions of that positive stuff, the negative thing never would have happened. What would have happened was all the positive stuff. So you get to make a choice, you know. You can either have a blissful, happy life by your choice, by your thoughts and what you think and feel is your truth, and you're just like, or you can have the opposite. So it's all in what you choose to think. It's all in what you choose to perceive as a concept of someone else. So if you see your SP as an ornery boy or girl who doesn't totally value you, and they only think about themselves, they leave you out in the cold half the time. Well, if you're thinking that about them, then just be ready for them to treat you that way and continue to treat you that way until you change your thought that you, even though it's the opposite of what you have been experiencing, you're going to change it to that I'm their highest priority. They love me, they respect me, they adore me. You know, that all of those positive things will then show up. It's the way the universe works. I mean, stop going against the universe. The universe isn't going to switch around just to be nice to you. It will do what it does, just like gravity. You drop the ball, you have a ball and you drop it, it's going to fall. It's gravity. You can't change that law. You have to change your thoughts. You know that if you have a negative thought and you persist in that, it's going to show up in your reality somehow. If you have a positive thought, contrary to what's going on in your 3D reality, it will also show up if you persist in it and feel those feelings and push that out of you. So are you still half identifying with the old version of you? Like a little over here and a little over there. Like sometimes you're in the news story and you're assuming it and you feel wonderful. Then something happens, or you walk out your door and there's your SP doing something that you wouldn't like them to be doing because of old fat thoughts and fears, or you get a text, or you don't get a text, whatever it is. And it could be health, it could be your money, it could be anything at all. Are you falling for that stuff in the 3D? Are you giving into it? Are you letting go of your assumption and thinking and feeling the fear and the anxiety of what's going on in the 3D, which we all know, and we hear these words all the time, that the 3D is a reflection, it's not real, of your past thoughts. So why get caught up in it? So immediately just tell yourself, when something happens, again, a reflection of your past thought that's negative, and you're not happy with it, just remind yourself, this is only a reflection, it's not real. And stay in the assumption, because you know that assumption, if you stay with it and you persist in it and you feel the good feelings of it, they're being pushed out of you and they will be reflected back, and your situation, your life circumstances will change accordingly. That's just the way it works. You can't get around that. So you have to make a choice. Am I going to discipline myself, which is not punishment, but am I going to discipline myself to be devoted to my assumption and embody this assumption as though I have it right now? So just assume you are in this loving, beautiful, supportive relationship. Assume you have perfect health, or that you're healed of whatever it might be. Assume that you have more than enough money all the time. Assume that whatever you want, and then live from that assumption. Live feeling the feelings of having, feeling the feelings of being that person you assume you are. So you feel those feelings and you enjoy that. Now, if you are dabbling in both, what's going to happen? So you say you're assuming, and a lot of times my clients will say, well, I get up in the morning and I do my imaginal scene, but then the rest of the day they're walking around wondering where their SP is, why they haven't contacted them. And they're telling me that in the morning when they do their imaginal scene, they're assuming that they are that person. You can't stop just because you got up to go about your day. You got to stay in the feeling of being that person. And Neville Goddard said, the longer you can sustain the feelings of the person who has whatever it is your heart's desiring, is how quickly it's going to manifest. So you do your imaginal work in the morning, you get up, you say your affirmations, you get up, you go about your day, but you're wondering, why didn't they text? Where are they? Then you start thinking about what they said the last time you saw them, how long ago it might have been that you saw them. You think about some of the things that you feel resentful towards them. You wonder why you're going to expect an apology from them because they treated you this way and this way and this way and it wasn't very nice. Or you decide that I'm not making the first move, they're going to make the first move. Well, you're just canceling out that whole imaginal scene. That's not living from the end of having the wish fulfilled. If you were living from the end of the wish fulfilled and feeling those feelings, you wouldn't even have those thoughts. Think about it. And I've used this analogy so many times, I need to come up with another one. But supposing you need a new car. You finally buy the new car, or someone gives you manifest a new car into your life. You're driving down the road. Are you sitting there worrying about this new car, if whatever's going to continue to work properly? Are you sitting there worrying if I'm safe? Are you sitting there worrying, where am I going to get a new car? No, you're in it. You're driving it. It's yours. And that's the same. That's embodiment, right? And even if you do want a new car right now, all you got to do is embody the feelings of sitting inside that car, feeling the smell of a new car and the way it maneuvers and all that good stuff. You do the same thing for specific people, for your health. What is the embodiment of that? You live from being in it now, having it now, assuming it now. So then you wouldn't have any thought, if you had it, like, why is it taking so long? You wouldn't have the thought of like, I need an apology. What would you apologize for? They love you, they live with you. Why would you need an apology? And you're going to maintain that relationship to keep it with your imagination, with your assumptions, to keep it in that blissful, beautiful state so that you have long-term longevity with each other. And so as soon as you find yourself asking questions like, I wonder if this is working, why haven't they contacted me? Because, okay, when you're with them, I mean, like when I was married, before my husband passed away, and he worked, and sometimes he would call me from work, and sometimes he didn't. But I didn't freak out all day wondering where that phone call was coming from. I knew he loved me. I knew that we were still connected. I didn't worry about it. And that's the same thing with this. You are assuming that you are that person now, so why are you worrying about when your text didn't come in? Why are you worrying about that you need an apology, or that you need, or why are you thinking about all the negative stuff they did? Even if you were in a relationship right now, truly in your 3D, that you manifested it, and you start worrying about why they're treating me this way and why they do that, guess what? You're going to ruin that whole relationship. You need to stay in that place of the beautiful, loving, blissful relationship with your emotions, with your thoughts, with your emotions, so that those frequencies go out and they can be reflected back to you. And so really, it's really very simple. You don't have to go crazy trying to get this, because that will only hold you back. What you need to do is just assume you have it and feel those feelings and enjoy it. Walk around feeling. And when you slip out, because people do, then bring yourself back right away. Bring yourself back. And when you get a nasty little thought that goes through your mind, like, this is taking so long, you're being foolish, then you just simply, or where are they, if you are assuming you have them, and then you get that little thought like, where are they? Well, because that's focused on the 3D, you just simply say, shut up and go away. I'm already married, if that's what I want, or I'm already in a new car. I'm already have this, I already have that, I already have perfect health, I already have more than enough money. I just say, go away. You're outdated. You're totally confused, because I already have this. It's mine. I'm not going to drive down the road in my car and ask a new car and get asked where it is. I'd be foolish, right? So that's how you have to live. So if you're living delusional, it's like people say, well, I feel like I'm deluding myself. That's okay. Do it. Delude yourself. Who cares? Because the more you stay in that story, the easier it gets, the less it feels like a delusion or pretense. And next thing you know, it's like second nature. And one time I wanted to switch occupation. I wanted to leave one place of business and move into some other field. And but nothing, I didn't know how it was going to happen. It wasn't like one of those things that I could map out or you can put out resumes. And so, but I just had this dream, decided I wanted it. And one day I was at my job at the time, and I was walking up a staircase to the administrative office part of the building, and I was on my way to tell my employer that I was resigning because I had this other job. I was so ingrained, so embodying that vision that it was mine, that I literally was going, before I had any evidence at all in the 3D, nothing had happened yet. It was just my vision inside, but I was so connected to it that I stopped myself halfway up the steps. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't do that, because really there was nothing yet for me to resign for. But about a month later there was, and I did, and it all worked out perfectly. But so I want you to embody it so much so that you automatically start to do the things you would do if it were in your life. Because I had to resign one job to take the other one, and I was just doing it on autopilot because I had so deeply embodied myself in having it now. And that's what you do with your SP. That's what you do with anything and everything. So you have to fully step into the embodiment of your desire, totally and completely fulfilled, assuming that it's yours right now. And feeling those feelings, which are frequencies that are going to go out to the universe, will reflect back that positive stuff, which then is going to manifest into your reality, the desire, the thing that you want. And then and make sure that you're not stepping over into the old story every now and then. So when you do your imaginal scenes, or you do your affirmations, do them from your heart with your emotions, feel them, and then keep that feeling all day long. Keep bringing yourself back, and it's really very simple. Okay, so assume that you want an SP. Assume that you're already in that beautiful, loving relationship. And how's that feel? Now, keep that feeling. I am in this relationship. Just walk around feeling love and feeling loved. Walk around feeling loved. See their face in your mind. That helps. And how much you love them. Let go, dismiss all the negative things they may have ever said or done to you. Let go of all the apologies and all that crap. That's what it is. It is useless energy. You're wasting energy. Stay in a feeling of love, that I am loved and valued by this other person, or health or money, whatever it is, apply it accordingly. So there you go. That's basically what you have to do. Just live in the feeling that is mine now and enjoy that feeling. And you can do that. It takes some practice, but you can do it. And then maybe it'll happen where, like it happened with me, where I just automatically started to go and turn in my say that I was going to resign. I hadn't done it officially, like it wasn't printed out, written out or anything, but I knew the person well enough to tell them. And I stopped myself. So it was on autopilot because I had so embodied it. Do that with your stuff and watch the magic. They say the magic, but it's really you. It's you pushing out that energy so that it can be reflected back to you. You are the God of your reality. You are the operant power of your reality, and everything and everyone must conform to you. SP, money, health, whatever it is, your body must conform to your commands. I command my body to do what I want it to do, and it obeys me. Because why? Everything must conform to you. And I do that with I talk to my higher self. I what I want, and then I get it. It happens because I live in a state of consciousness that says it's already mine, and what I am whatever I assume that I am, and so I'm assuming that I have whatever it is my heart's desiring right now. So you do that too. If you have any questions, you may ask them in the comments. I would love that. Or you can schedule an appointment, and we could talk one-on-one. That would be so wonderful. Plus, I love meeting all of you. So blessings, and thank you for listening.